So I run inside, I kick the stall open, I turn around to like lock the stall because I don't want people to see me. So I lock it, and as I turn around like this, it just comes out, guys. It just goes, and I turn around and it kind of like whiplashes like a manguera, kind of like a hose. It just like sprays like a sprinkler, like, right? It just like comes out and it sprays, and it got on the other guy who was fighting for his life's shoes. And as soon as it happened, he left. I don't even know if he wiped, but he left. What is going on, YT? It is your boy Diego, and as you can see, I am doing a little bit of a different video today in a similar style to the one where I told my cockroach story. If you guys haven't seen that one, you guys can feel free to check that out. I just finished filming a tier list video where we tier listed all the fast food restaurants, and it got me to remember this story that I want to share with you guys so you guys can know me a little bit better. Welcome to the channel if you're new. If you guys happen to stumble upon this channel, my name is Diego. You can call me Chancho as always. And yeah, feel free to subscribe if you're new, and if you're not, then leave a like. Let's try to get this video to a whopping 2 likes. Now, the year is 2015 and I'm in college, right? And I'm walking down the hallway and a lady stops me and she goes, "Hey, would you like to save 4 lives today?" And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? The birds are chirping. I feel like a good person. I want to save 4 lives today. So I'm like, of course I want to save 4 lives today. She's like, "Follow me right this way, sir." I follow her. It turns out there's a blood drive going on. And the reason I'm bringing this up, guys, is because Chick-fil-A, I could not eat it for about 4 years, and you're about to find out why. So I go, I donate blood. Now, mind you, it's early in the morning, around 10, maybe 10:30 a.m. I haven't had any breakfast yet, but I'm willing to save a life. You know, thumbs up if you guys think I should be saving lives. Now, I follow her and we're in this room and she's like, "All right, I'm going to take your vitals." So you take my blood pressure, all this other stuff, right? Like prepping me to donate blood. And they're like, "Oh, okay, you should be good to donate blood. You meet the weight requirements, all this other stuff, right?" So I'm like, cool. I'm ready to save some lives. Now, they take me to the little bed, those ones that like do this thing, this number, and they inject me with I'm not a doctor, but they inject me with one of those things to start drawing my blood. I see it being drained from my lifeless corpse. I feel really good though. Like, I feel a little bit dizzy, but I'm feeling good because I'm happy to save lives. Now, I don't know how much blood they took from me, but it felt like it was a lot, right? And I'm sitting there donating blood. One of my friends is donating blood next to me. Israel, shout out if you're there. And after you donate blood, I don't know if you guys have ever donated blood or not, but after you donate blood, they put you to the side and they monitor you for 15 minutes to make sure you're doing okay. So they set me in the little waiting area and they gave me a little snack. I think I had pretzels. And I'm there and I think I'm doing good, and all of a sudden my friend who had donated blood at the same time with me, he's like, "All right, I feel ready," and he left. So he left me there by myself, abandoned, cold, miserable, sad. And all of a sudden I just feel this sudden feeling coming over me, like I'm shaking, right? And I'm like, okay, someone just turned up the AC or something, because it is freezing in here. There's a random dude sitting next to me and he's looking at me weird, right? And I'm like, maybe I'm not acting right. So then I look at him and I'm like, "Hey bro, is it really cold in here?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, oh my god, I'm not okay. So I started feeling really cold inside, like freezing cold, like sharp, like Titanic, like Jack and the Titanic. And I'm just like, I need help, right? All of a sudden, everything turns black. Like, have you ever seen those cartoons when somebody's like closing their eyes and it kind of like zooms into black like that? That's exactly what I saw. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't see anything. Not only that, I can't bring myself to say any words. I'm hyperventilating too. I'm like that, right? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm freezing cold. I can't see. I've gone blind. I'm freaking out, guys, because I thought I had gone blind because I was doing this and I knew my eyes were open, but I still couldn't see anything. It was just black. And I'm just like, somebody needs to help me. And then finally somebody got the clue. And then this lady comes up to me and she's like, sir, are you okay? I'm like, do I look okay? Again, guys, I can't bring myself to say any words. So she's like, oh my God, he's gone into, and then she said some insert medical term here or something, right? And I'm just like, and then they're like, sir, can you get up? Can you get up? And in my brain, I'm just thinking like, guys, does it look like I can get up? I can't even, I'm blind. I'm seriously convinced that I've gone blind. So then they're like, oh my gosh, sir, we're gonna place some ice bags in your chest. So then they like pull my shirt like this. They put ice bags inside, one in the front, one in the back, and then they start rubbing my chest with the ice bags like this. And I'm just like this, right? And then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I still can't see. I'm freaking out. I still can't say any words. They carry me over to one of those little beds, and they're like, here, sir, you need to eat some sugar. And they gave me a Jolly Rancher cherry. By the way, guys, cherry, second tier. I like watermelon better, but I'll let it slide because they were trying to save my life. They gave me a Jolly Rancher cherry. They laid me down, and then they like elevated my feet. And as soon as they elevated my feet, I felt my vision come back like in the cartoon again. It was like, and I could see, and I was like, oh, Santa Maria, I'm not blind. Oh, it's a miracle. Oh, right? So I think everything's cool. And then the lady goes, sir, are you okay? How do you feel? And I felt really dizzy, really lightheaded. Sorry, guys, I'm still kind of sick. So then she's like, okay, sir, you can stay as long as you want. And you better believe I was going to stay as long as I wanted because I didn't want to go to class. So then I'm laying down there probably for like 20 minutes. And I feel like they're giving me the stink eye, like it's time for me to go. Because they're probably like, okay, this guy's like really milking it for all it's worth. So they're kind of like, sir, are you ready to go? And I was like, all right, fine, I get the message. So I got up, I leave, and the lady goes, I'm going to recommend that you eat a hearty meal, something like meat or chicken or something like that. And I go, oh, so you think it's okay if I eat Chick-fil-A then? And she's like, actually, Chick-fil-A would be a great meal for you to eat, sir. And I was like, okay, cool. I love Chick-fil-A. Why not? You know, there's one right across the next building. So I go to Chick-fil-A, and I remember specifically where I ordered. It was the Chick-fil-A Deluxe sandwich with the Colby Jack cheese. No, it was American cheese, which is always one of my go-tos. If you're feeling frisky, you go for the deluxe because it's more expensive, but it's fancy and it has more meat and lettuce and cheese. So I'm like, what could go wrong? I'm eating my sandwich. I sit down with my friends and I'm like, guys, the craziest thing just happened to me. I went to donate blood and I fainted. And they were like, oh my gosh, bro, tell us more. And little by little, I know that something's wrong because I'm eating my burger and I started to feel more and more nauseous. And I'm just like, something's not sitting with me right. I've had this sandwich 1,000 times, but something's just not right. It was time to go to class, so me and my friend are like, hey, before we go to class, I need to go to the restroom really quick because I felt like I was going to throw up. I go to the restroom, my friend follows me, and I'm like, hey, bro, you know what? Go ahead and take off to class because I'm going to have to stay here in the restroom for a little bit longer because I didn't feel good. Now, mind you, it is my like first or second year of college, so I didn't have a car yet. And my only way of getting back home was to call my mom. Now, I don't know what it is about my mom, but when I need her the most, she's never there. So I have a cell phone, luckily, because at this point I was by myself. Nobody else was helping me. I was fighting for my life. Now, I call my mom, no answer. No answer. I call my mom again, no answer. I call my mom again, no answer. And I'm really, really sick. So I'm like, I already skipped class because I didn't feel good. I'm laying down in the student union. If you guys are from UTRGV, I'm upstairs near the restrooms. And I'm laying down watching that 70s show on my phone, and I'm hoping that my mom will call me back eventually. Now, this is when I reached the moment of decision because I knew I was about to throw up. So, you know that feeling. There's a point of no return when you're about to throw up where you know it's just going to happen. So, yeah, you just start feeling it. It like comes gurgling up. I don't want to talk about it because I'll probably throw up right now. I don't want to throw up on Ashley. So, I run from the couch that I was laying down on. I ran for my life. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. So I run straight to the toilet. I kicked the stall open. Guys, I wish I was exaggerating, but I literally ran in there, kicked it open, closed it behind me, and now mind you, there was only 2 stalls. And there was a guy fighting for his life in the next stall, but I could see his shoes. And now, okay, like let me reenact it for you guys, right? So I run inside, I kick the stall open, I turn around to like lock the stall because I don't want people to see me. So I lock it. And as I turn around like this, it just comes out, guys. It just goes. And I turn around and it kind of like whiplashes like a manguera, kind of like a hose. It just like sprays like a sprinkler. Like, right? It just like comes out and it sprays, and it got on the other guy who was fighting for his life's shoes. And as soon as it happened, he left. I don't even know if he wiped, but he left. But I wish I was joking. And if you're out there somewhere, I'm sorry that I vomited on your shoes. So after, I don't know what happened. So after I throw up and it kind of comes out like that, and I reach for the toilet and I'm just like, bleh, 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 right? All I'm tasting is American cheese, and it's just not a good day for me. It is one of the worst days of my life, right? After I released all the contents of my stomach, I sadly walk over to the sink, a couple tears in my eyes. I'm feeling lonely, sad. I wasn't dating Ashley yet, so I was really by myself. My mom's not answering, my one hope. I go back to the couch, but like sadly and lonely. And I go back to that 70s show, and I'm just praying at this point, like, Mom, please come pick me up. Finally, about 45 minutes to an hour later, she calls me back. She's like, Mijo. She's like, why were you calling me? What's going on? What's the deal? And I was like, Mom, I need you to come pick me up right now because I just threw up all over a guy's shoes. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry that I wasn't answering. I was in Mexico. Why were you in Mexico when I needed you the most? So, for those of you guys that don't know, Mexico was not far from where we used to live. It was probably like a 25 minute drive. So she finally comes to pick me up, and I tell her the whole thing. I'm like, Mom, I donated blood. That is the last time I ever tried to save lives. And she takes me home. It's about a 25-minute drive from the university to where my mom lives. But guys, on the way back home, my mom had to make 2 stops. One on the freeway because I threw up on the side of the road, and another one right when we were about to pull up to the house. So at this point, I had already thrown up 3 times. I get to the house. My dad, he was a really, really, really worrisome type of person. So I get home. I imagine I look as bleak as I've ever looked. Probably like all chupado, like sick as they come, right? So my dad's like, Gloria, like, what's going on with my son? And she's like, he donated blood, and then he fainted. And I was like, guys, I don't want to talk about it. I went straight to bed. At this point, it's probably like 3 p.m. or something. And I just remember getting to bed and falling asleep until like 11 o'clock. And I remember waking up, and I felt so much better. And I got up, I went to my dad, and I was like, hey, Dad, I threw up. And so that's the story of how I almost died trying to save somebody else's life. Am I a hero? Yeah, you could say that. I would definitely say that, because that day I saved 4 lives. And if those people that are using my blood are still alive out there right now, I would like to say that I did save their lives. But after that happened, I wasn't able to eat Chick-fil-A until like 2020. And that's because that happened in 2015. And during that time period, I was dating Ashley. And her favorite place to go to was always Chick-fil-A. But I would always tell her, like, Ashley, I can't eat Chick-fil-A. I physically have a nauseating response every time I try it. But luckily, I finally got over it. Like 6 years later, I was able to eat Chick-fil-A again, and I'm back to where I am now. And it has been really healthy for our relationship because his Chick-fil-A is awesome. There you guys go. That is... Oh, and then after that, the Blood Society, or the National Blood Suckers, or whatever they're called, they kept trying to call me, and my mom would always tell them off on the phone. She's like, the last time my son tried to donate blood, he fainted and almost died. So, what are they called? The National Blood Society? Oh, Red Cross? Whatever. The blood people that take your blood. But anyways, guys, that was the story of how I almost died after I donated blood. I think what really caused it was that I hadn't eaten any breakfast. Maybe that would have helped. I don't know. I don't know. But thank you guys for listening in. If you guys are new, again, let's try to get this video to a whopping 1 like. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.